Hello and welcome to this video. So this video is going to be about something I am extremely passionate about and something I taught my paying clients, but I figured let's re-record it for you guys since they really loved it and for privacy reasons. So, the art of letting go of everything that holds you back. And take this in mind, like I really want you to value this video because this is something incredibly life-changing that I have used in my life and applied in amazing ways to just have amazing experiences. And they loved it, and I'm sure you will too. So even though this is free on YouTube, treat it as it is not free. Just so you appreciate it a bit more and actually take it to heart. Cool. So, what is letting go? So, in this industry, everyone is talking about letting go. But what it really is that you're letting go is a cessation of tension. So, when you're in the middle of in the midst of an argument and you suddenly like you both start to laugh. And in that moment, just all negativity and tension is vanish. And you can use this principle at all times to have some incredible effects on your life and like completely eliminate stress from your life. And I really mean completely, like I do not feel stress at all, at any time anymore. So let's go. And once you start letting go, are no longer a victim. And we explain suffering as human condition, but it is possible to escape the suffering. Like life will always have pain. Life will always have its up and downs, and that is okay. But suffering is actually just your own mental conditioning that is making you suffer. And you don't really need to suffer. Like it's kind of pointless if you think about it. And we have fear of these feelings because they are, we have a fear of these feelings because they are afraid that this feelings start to slowly accumulate and they become a problem. And we start wishing for them to end. But therefrom comes a bit of suffering. You start craving for something new. You start wanting to escape it. And that creates suffering more than the actual pain does. And just imagine for a moment a painful memory. Just whatever it is. Like it can be a breakup, it can be like a pet of yours died or anything. And just notice all the negative energy that comes up and like all the tension and emotions that just pops up and you start feeling like, oh, this is not nice to think about. But if we can surrender the feeling, it would have no power. Like all emotions and feelings, all they want to do is just pass through us and then let go of. But we think they're just, oh, we're gonna have to feel like this forever. But that's not true. So, what is a surrendered state? It's a state free from negativity in the given area, which allows our creativity to flow from within without limits. And once you go into this surrendered state, like you start feeling a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, and just pure magic, basically. That's basically what you feel. The problem is that as humans, instead of surrendering, we start projecting. So if you have a negative association with something, you start projecting that on the world. And as you see on this incredible picture right here, you can see that like he imagines that the dog will bite his hand and stuff. And he imagines that everyone will hurt him. And you will project it into the world. And this is the weird part. Like, if you project it, there's a much bigger chance that it will happen. So, for example, I have basically never gotten into a fight. And I have been in like, I am not like this timid guy when I'm out. I can be quite cocky and just teasing everyone. And there's a lot of reasons I should have been in a fight. But because of my calmness and that I don't project it as, oh, I'm trying to fight you, instead of me just projecting it as just fun, I never get into a fight. And this is something that truly will change the way your life works. And like even law of attraction, I'm not sure if you're super aware of that. I don't, this is not a video about it, but if you start sending out emotions that you people will hurt you, you will most likely get hurt. And this is something I tried out. So I was walking alone home at night and I listened to this extremely gangster song, like gangster rap song that talks about like cops and bombs and stuff. And I got into like this energy of being almost like, I want to fight. And then I saw like this guy came coming up to me, like reaching from something out of his pocket. And I'm like, oh, this is not good. Like, yeah, I did switch song. And then I switched song. And he has turned around and walked. Because you have to understand, people will sense your energy. And this is something that can truly make your life incredible. Like it, your energy alone can attract the perfect partner, perfect woman and stuff. So by having these mental conditions, you will start projecting a negative world, and the world will just reflect it back to you because people will sense your energy. And projection is also the main mechanism for every war, all violence, and all crimes. They like project something on the world. Like, oh, I need power. Oh, I need to hold power. I need to be an authority right here and stuff. So just something to think about. Oops. Ah, what's going on? Can't press the button. Oh no. Yeah, yeah, there we go. And the way most people go about letting go is wrong. They're like, excuse me, move the light a bit. Expressing. Expression of negativity allow a part to be let out, but the expression of feeling give it greater energy and the remainder gets suppressed. So if we dump our negative feelings on others, they might feel attacked. And this is something that comes up a lot in relationships. Like you go at work, you have a horrible day at your job, and then you go home and you just push it on your wife or push it on your partner, and they feel bad. And they should feel bad. Like you're projecting a lot of expressing a lot of negativity on them, which doesn't need to be expressed on them because they are not the fault of it, the cause of it. And if we let go of the feeling, the perception and the bodily sensations change to happy. And this is also like common line. Like stress is not external at all. The fear we have on the inside, the more we see it. Like the more it's caused by our belief system. Muscle tension is the aftermath of anxiety, and it releases the core of the problem, not the effect. Like you, if you want to get rid of stress, you don't try to like remove stress. You remove the actual core of what causes stress. But this, we also suppress positive feelings. Like suppressing love leads to a broken heart. And as humans, we're so taught that we're not supposed to show emotion, that we just keep suppressing everything. We can suppress happiness, we suppress love because we're afraid that they won't love us back. Like we believe this is a game to be played. Like if you date someone, you believe, no, I can't say I love you because it's too early. Like I said I love you to a girl, like I don't know, after 3 dates. And she was like, what? And she got like shocked. I'm like, I just said it, I love you. And it doesn't mean that like I love her and I want to possess her. It just means that I loved her as a woman. And we had a beautiful little relationship. So just don't suppress. But if negative thoughts lead to negative feelings and events, then the opposite is also true. Like loving thoughts and feelings will lead to loving events. And this is how we start to create a life full of wonder and magic. So just look at this. I think this is a super interesting experiment. It's made by some Japanese guy, which I don't remember the name of. But this is water frozen in different affirmations or songs. So, for example, look at love. Look how beautiful the water molecules become. Like, it's incredible. And like, look at the Fujiwara before prayer and Fujiwara after prayer. Like, it's completely different. And thank you and peace and the symphony. Like, the world reflects the energy. And you can try to ignore that energy doesn't exist and stuff, but you can even go into quantum physics and you will realize like this part about energy is completely true. And look at the I will kill you. Like what is that water? And like imagine what you do to yourself. Like your body is like 70% water. And you say to yourself, I hate myself. Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I do not deserve love. Like, imagine what you're doing to your entire body, your entire system, not just your mind. And thoughts are just rationalizations of the mind to have a reason for the feeling. And this is why changing your thoughts only can be quite ineffective. And a lot of affirmations will be mostly useless unless you bring the feeling into it. So I tried it. I tried saying the affirmations like, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. And while it had some kind of effect, it's not that effective because it's not strong enough. And the Buddha said the way to be free is to have no attachment to the outer world. And you really don't want to put any importance on the outer world. And by continuously letting go, you go into a state of freedom because feelings are merely created by the ego. And the more we focus on a feeling, uh, the love we focus is more than a feeling. It's a part of who you are. So in this practice, I'm sure like, everyone says, "Oh, be loving, be loving." Like, what is loving? So in Buddhism, like studied and worked with a nun for 6 months or something, a Buddhist nun, super cool experience. And they taught me something called metta meditation. And what metta meditation is that you basically meditate and you focus on loving kindness. And by focusing on this loving kindness, it starts to grow. It grows, it grows, it grows until you start feeling more joy and you attract more like cool things to happen into your life. And this love, it's not like it's never been there with you. It's like just that your mind is so used to focus on the negative that you don't see it. But it's always been there, my friend. It's always been there. And when something is fully surrendered, we're not aware of it because it doesn't exist. That's also why journal is quite good to have, so you actually see how much you change. Like it can be very easy to not realize how much you change if you do not write a journal. You can be like, oh, but I did this, 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 and nothing has changed. But then when you write the journal, you will see like, oh, wow, my life has completely changed. And the ego start losing power. If you feel like the process is not working, this is good. This means the ego knows you found a knife to remove the hooked cells. Like it would create resistance. Like it would say like, if you start getting doubt about the practice, that's just good. It's just a hindrance, as they say in Buddhism. And it actually means that your ego is like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm gonna try something here. I'm gonna try something here to make sure that it doesn't keep doing this because this is very uncomfortable for me. I do not feel safe when it does this. But that's just good. Just keep going, man. Just keep going and truly allow yourself to change. And you never know how toxic something is until you breathe fresher air. So you might not think your life is not that toxic or your relationship is not that toxic. But if you even feel a little bit of toxicity from it, it is toxic. And you start realizing that there's higher levels of awareness to live this life from. You start realizing that there's higher states of consciousness you can live from. And you start really enjoying life more and all of its aspects. And I have been depressed. Like I was super depressed. I can't say how far I gone because then I'm not sure if I'm allowed to talk to you about that on YouTube, but I was very, very depressed. I hated myself. And now I'm just walking around blissing out. My normal condition on life right now is blissing. I could not believe I would feel this good. And my life has started reflecting those experiences. Like I started working for coaching company with some super cool people. I started living with a nun, and like it was just incredible what happened. I started dating incredible woman, like way more hot than I ever had, but also way more loving and like way more like non-toxic because I had a tendency to attract toxic women for a while. Because I had like my own shadow that was like, oh, I deserve this. I deserve this pain. And your thoughts are resistance. The real self is the silence between the thoughts. And this is something incredible. If you want to be happy, if you want to live your life to the fullest, if you want to attract your dream partner, like I have tried every single method in the world basically for the last 12 years about how to build self-esteem, how to build confidence, how to build self-love. I've tried every single meditation there is. Actually, probably not every single one, but a lot of them. And I just can't get out of it. Like, if you truly want to rise to more love and higher consciousness, you have to meditate. Because you have to be able to witness how your mind works to get control of it. It will also increase your masculinity a lot if you can just observe your thoughts without reacting to them. Like this is true masculinity. Like true masculinity is not playing alpha. Like I am quite skinny, and yet I had women say you're so masculine because I'm calm. Like every single woman I dated lately said like I just feel so safe and free in your presence. That's something to think about. I didn't try bragging. I didn't do anything. In fact, I'm quite quiet uh, when I am with women and let them do most of the talking because I'm just being there with them. But that's not what it's about. It's just the silence is so nice. And I know a lot of people that might be watching this be like, oh no, I can't be alone in the silence. If you can't be alone in the silence, you failed. If you get so much negative thoughts when you're alone, like, are you gonna distract yourself for the rest of your life? That's not really a way to live, is it? If you always have to distract yourself from life. Yeah. And once you start letting go, it gains a certain momentum. And the higher we go, the higher we feel, the easier it is to let go. Never stop letting go. And normal limiting beliefs that hinder you. Suffering is good for us. I don't deserve love. Things that are easy is not worth much. Why is suffering good for you? There is no reason suffering is good for you. Like pain can help you, like challenges help you, but that is not suffering. That is just adversity. I don't deserve love. Good luck finding a partner if you have the belief I don't deserve love. Well, maybe you can. Maybe you can find a toxic one if that's what you want. And things that are easy is not worth much. This is also extremely damaging belief because life is not supposed to be hard. Like, I had this talk with my friend, and we were like, do you know what? I have figured out why everyone is so grumpy on the planet. It's because they take life too seriously. They're like, oh, I have to look cool. I have to sit in this way to impress someone. I don't want anyone to say anything bad about me and stuff like that. It's so restricted. Like you want to be free. You want to be your true self. Like, I am weird. Like I'm super weird, which you're probably noticing on this video. Like my energy is all over the place. But I'm weird in social situations as well. Like I was on a date and all I did was talk about how she is God and how I am God. And yeah, I am weird, but I'm me. And awareness is crucial to letting go. Like if you want a luxury car, what they want this car for? Status. What they want status for? Respect. What they want respect for? Woman. What they want respect and a woman for? Like all is to avoid insecurity and gain happiness or gain contentment. But getting the car will not actually help you with insecurity. Instead, it will just amplify the belief that you need something to be that good. And don't get stuck in the stories of your own feelings. Like, if you feel bad a day, your mind will come up like, oh, but I feel bad because my work colleague didn't treat me well and she said something mean to me, or my boss doesn't appreciate me. It's just stories. It's just everything. It's just stories and thoughts, and it's just affecting you too much. This is why you have to meditate. Like, you have to meditate to truly start getting control of your feelings and your power. And fear of life is fear of emotions. And this is also what numbness is. If you feel numb, you're afraid of your emotions. You're so afraid to feel them that you have shut them off. But by doing that, you go into like apathy, which is super low in the scale of consciousness. Like it's better to be in fear than apathy, but instead you used a lower one. And once you become numb, like nothing is fun. Dating is not fun. Like I tried dating numb, it's horrible. Like it's just this weird interactions. Like there's no joy in it. It's just weird. So you really want to allow yourself to feel again. You really want to allow yourself to live the best life possible and to really embrace what you are. Like you're an amazing human being. But when we become the master of our emotions, we become free. So I want to tell you about an experience that is actually extremely unbelievable. It was for me too, though. So either you believe me or you don't. It really doesn't matter. But just to make a point. So I was in Thailand and I was on this like meditation slash self-development retreat. And we went to a nightclub and I felt very bad. Like I had bad sleep, I was jet lagged, I had been stomach sick and stuff. And I just felt really, really, really bad. So I go into the nightclub and I noticed like my thoughts are like, oh, no one will like me here. Why am I even here? And I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, it's not like anyone here will like me because I was in such a low, exhausted state from being sick so long, not having eaten anything almost in 2 days, and just laying in bed. Going to a nightclub was just chaotic. But then something from nowhere just switched inside of me. I'm like, wait. It was like a very interesting shift. I haven't had that many of these. It was like, why am I thinking like this? If I am God, Why don't I just choose to be the most attractive man on the planet right now? And in that moment, there was a complete shift. Complete shift. And suddenly, within 5 seconds, a girl is running up to me saying, "Hello!" Like super excited. And then the other girl says, "No, he's my boyfriend." And I'm like, what is going on? And that just kept happening. Like people who wanted to come up and talk to me and be like, "Who are you, man? You're awesome." And even my friend who was way more confident in me at the time, he couldn't believe it. Like he was so not like he wasn't below me, but his energy was so below me that he was like he couldn't relate. And he just ended up like making out with a girl, and I had like it was a wild night. And that is truly what starts happening when you become the master of your emotions. Maybe not to that extreme, because that's still like I did a complete energetical shift in a second, but it will help you. Like you will feel way better in life and feel more joy. You feel more inspired to do work instead of pushing yourself to do work. You feel inspired to make your relationship better instead of forcing yourself to make it better. You feel inspired to go after your dreams instead of saying, I have to go after my dreams because my parents told me, or this YouTuber told me, or this influencer is so much better than me. And you start really living from within instead from without. And this is something crucial if you really wanna live a fulfillment life, a meaningful life, is you have to start living from within. You can't live from without. You can't live building your life and experiences from the outside world. You have to live from within. Like, what do you want in life? Go for that. And once we become the master of emotions, we become free. And anchor your life in gratitude, love, and forgiveness. All of them calibrated 500. This is me at a New Year's Eve party looking extremely wild. Uh, but yeah, it's just do it. And I will release another video about the art of letting, like how to actually let go. But actually, it's very simple. And the technical aspects is not much. You just kind of let go of your focus on the thought or the feeling, and then you relax. And then you become more and more relaxed. This is also how you can go into deep jhanas if you do it during meditation. But that's not what I want to talk about in this video. Like this video is gonna be more like how to live from love. It's not gonna be how to go into nibbana. I have actually, but that was another wild experience when I lived with a nun. And it's just you learn so much about your mind when you meditate. So I really can't say enough. Everything outside you, everything you listen to, everything you watch will affect your mind in different ways. Every, every song that has a negative message will get in your head. And this is something like a lot of songs are very negative. And they did this experiment actually where they had two depressed groups of people and they split them up in two. And one of them listened to like gangster rap and death metal and stuff like that. And they couldn't get out of the depression. And the other group got to listen to like EDM, trance, or like happy music, like classical music. And they started feeling more happy from the music alone. So just by changing your music, you can have an effect on your life. So think about how much you can change your life if you start really meditating, start focusing on more metta, start living more for you, and stop beating yourself up. Like we have all been programmed without consent. We learn from our parents, we learn from school, we learn from TV, We learn from, like, if you have parents, like if you have that were not loving, you will have trouble seeing love. But you have the choice to change the programming. You can choose to only have positive programs in your mind, or mostly positive programs. Die. No, wrong button. Sorry. Great. Excuse me. I am just pressing the wrong button here. Why we focus on metta and love. A high vibration has a healing effect on low vibrations. We heal fear with love. And it just builds up. Like if you start to focus more on love, your mind will eventually start forming new neural pathways that focus more on metta and joy. And once your brain starts focusing more on metta and joy, so much will change. And then, of course, we have the aspect of shadow work, which is also extremely crucial because if you don't do shadow work, you will still have like lower split parts of your consciousness that pulls it down. And this is something you really should deal with. And this is something I would love to help you with as well in my private coaching program. But other than that, you should not focus that much on it. You should not focus on your problems. If you do shadow work, you can do it alone as well. You want to do it very sparingly, like maybe once or twice a week. I'm doing once a week now, and I don't really have any more problems coming up. It's just to see, like, oh, do I have some resistance towards something? Oh no, I'm good. Okay, let's focus on more meta and love. And this is basically like your higher self radiates love, and your higher self is like your pure awareness, your pure consciousness. And it really heals the negative feelings and the negative emotions because they just want to be seen and felt and let go of. And a person who had a childhood with unconditional love will have a head start. But don't worry, this energy is within you as well, my friend. And once we have been accompanied with the shadows of our mind, we stop seeing it outside. It takes a lot of energy to hold the shadows down. But when we surrender, we become lighter and lighter, and you start to actually get sick less as well. So I always used to be sick. In school, when I studied computers, I got sick so much. And I also had a toxic girlfriend. Uh, and I got sick so much, like constantly, because it was just so sickening. But because I felt so bad. If you feel bad emotionally, you will not, your body will immune system will be busy doing other things. Like once you go into like higher states of love, metta, and joy, like you will barely get sick. Like if I get sick, it's usually one day now, or even less. It just vanishes. And the world is like a crab bucket holding you down, riddled with negativity. And this is something you have to realize. This is not something you should think about, like, oh, that person is trying to hold me down, because they're not doing it consciously. Like, they're not pulling you down because they want you to, like, feel bad. It's just unconscious behaviors of the world because the world is kind of built on fear. So, like, this doesn't mean if you have a friend that, like, you feel can be a bit mean sometimes that, like, you should break up with them, but maybe. Like, if you feel bad around your friend all the time, maybe it's not that's not that good of a friend. Like if your friend starts feeling threatened when you change, maybe it's not that good of a friend because you're scared. Like, oh, you're changing. Oh, but where will you go? So yeah, once you start this journey of self-development, and let's not start journey of self-development. That's such a overused word. Like if you, once you start really changing, you will get new friends and you will get a new life. And that's okay. They will be more aligned with the new you. What is wrong with Canva today? So let's just do it like this. Uh, and content over consciousness need to change to remove stress. And without doing that, nothing will change and the problem will never go away, only the effect. This practice is more effective than medicine because you're removing the cause. And this is also what shadow work does, or like therapy can do. Not normal therapy though. Normal therapy can be quite ineffective. I found out, like I had some people do therapy on me, and it's just me talking about my problem, and like the nun said, like it just makes the problem bigger. I'm not saying psychology is bad or anything, but I'm saying the idea of talking about your problem to just remove it is quite absurd because you just feed it more energy. And you have to want to be free of the hindrances more than you want the hindrances. Let go of the compulsion to 6R it. It's your choice. Think of all the benefits. We don't want to create more resistance. With force, the more we give, the more we lose. But with power, the more we give, the more we gain. Okay. And recognizing with acceptance. Like whenever you notice you're having a negative feeling or negative thought, like you just see it. I am noticing that I'm having a negative feeling right now, or negative thought says this. And you just remove your attention from it. You relax your head and you let go of the tension it created. And you re-smile to really hone in on the new neural pathways and you return to the wholesome and you repeat. This is called the 6 R's, which I did not come up with. It's the Damasuka Foundation who came up with this. So I cannot take the credit for this one. And yeah. And thank you for watching. I hope you take this all to heart and change your mindscape to one of beauty and radiance wherever you go. Uh, to end with, I thought we'll listen to the highest calibrated song David Hawkins found, but I just let you search on it alone. It's called Spiegel Spiegel by Ira Peck. The song calibrates at 800. And if you're watching this far, definitely leave a comment on what you learned. Like I have just been talking. I am quite rusty at doing YouTube videos. Because usually once I do this, I get like talk back and forth, but for privacy reasons, couldn't do that. So yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. And yeah, have a wonderful day, and I hope this practice changes your life. Peace.